All right. We are going to be starting our reading unit on poetry, and we will be doing some writing with it too, but we won't start that until next week because I'm going to be meeting with kids about their persuasive essays first. So, um, I want you to be going to Epic for this to do your assignment. In Epic, I've assigned the book Ocean Soup. So you should be able to go right in there. If you've forgotten our class code, you go to our reading writing slide in here. So if we go to slide 5, you will see that the class code is right here, and that's how you can get to Epic. Okay, so it's pretty easy to get to. Um, shouldn't be a problem because you'll be on this page anyway to hear this recording. So once you're in Epic, things I want you to do while you're reading this story is to think about what are each of these poems about. Now, most of these poems have some rhyming in them, and they all have a subject matter. So they're called narrative poems. So they're telling a story, just like our narrative essays were small moment stories. They're telling a story. So the narrative poem tells a story. So what story is it telling? And there's a little quiz at the end that I'd like you to try. So be careful while you're reading them. But if you just click on the book, I should say, and you open it up, The Soup That Bites. Tide Pool soup is really good, a most delicious snack. But careful when you take a bite. This soup might bite you back. Crabs will pinch and urchins poke. It's rough out there, no joke. So I want you to think about where it rhymes and what words do rhyme and what kind of pattern is made. So if we look at good, does it go snack? No. Bite, back. So maybe it's snack and back and poke and joke. So snack, back, poke, joke. So just because there's a comma there doesn't mean that that's going to be a word that rhymes. So you have to kind of think about the rhythm and the rhyming. The rhythm is the tempo that it goes in, like a sing-songy thing. And the rhyming are words that sound the same at the end. They aren't always spelled the same at the end, and we will come upon that. I also want you to read these parts of the book. Often we're going to find out that some of these books have messages more than just the poem. So tide pools, all right, tide pool animals have developed ways to survive the daily changes in their habitat. Barnacles and mussels shut tight when exposed to air and hot sun, keeping them moist inside their shells. Starfish, crabs, and small fish seek shelter under damp rocks or wet seaweed. So the soup that bites, think about that again, knowing the tide pools. What does this poem mean? Not just the rhyme, but the meaning, because it's a story. It's a message. Tide pool soup is really good, a most delicious snack. But careful when you take a bite. This soup might bite you back. Crabs will pinch and urchins poke. It's rough out there, no joke. So who's trying to eat that soup? If we look at the illustrations, what do you see that doesn't belong in there? Maybe a seagull? Fine. Isn't that from Finding Nemo? Those guys try to eat all these little critters that are in here, but some of them might bite back like these guys, right? So it's telling you the story of how the animals interact with each other as well as how they survive. And we know about habitats. We have predator and prey relationships. So there's a lot of message within this little poem as well as rhyming. So I want you to continue on and read each one, and I want you to just Jot down a post-it for each one what you think the story or the message is. Why did this author write this narrative? What's so important about it? And name a couple of the rhyming things. So I think you'll find it interesting. Be sure you read this to help you understand what this is about. It helps to read the poem, read this, read the poem again. All right. And at the end, there is a 5-question quiz. Hopefully you'll do well with that. I hope you enjoy your reading.